Hey guys, my name is Caedmon and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be trying out some new products. Some of these are new to market and some of them are just new to my collection. I have already done skincare and primed with the Lancome La Base primer. So first things first, let's get into the foundation. So the foundation that I'm going to be trying out today is the new Benefit Hello Happy foundation. They came out with the Hello Flawless foundation sometime last year, I believe. This one has a similar shade range, so it has 12 shades. The full size is $30 for 1 ounce. I have the mini, which is $15 for 0.3 ounces. So value-wise, not as good of a value, but it's really nice if you just want to try something out and you're not sure whether you want to make that jump to the full size. So it's, again, it's a really cute one, just like the old ones were. It's got the little smiley face, and then on the back it has the Hello Happy. This one is the Flawless Brightening Foundation. So the other one was the Soft Matte Blurring Foundation. This one is the Brightening Foundation. A little information, this one is taking the place of the Hello Flawless Brightening Foundation, the one that they've had for a few years now. So that one is being discontinued and this is taking its place. So let's try it out and see how good it is. So I'm going to be putting it on with a beauty sponge. This is the Beauty Bakery Blending Egg. And I'm going to do just a little bit at a time to see kind of how it builds. So a little information off of the box. This foundation has photochromatic pigments that are supposed to adapt to brightening skin in any lighting. Obviously I'm in bedroom lighting, so lighting is not great in here. So we'll see how it looks in the end. It has flower acids to help boost radiance and hyaluronic acid to help keep the skin hydrated. I think this is marketed as a medium coverage foundation. So let's see. All right, so with that little pump, I did the right side of my face. So as you can see, I had a little breakout up here. It's still slightly showing through, but it is more toned down. On the cheek area, it's pretty well covered. And that was just a very little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a tiny bit more on the forehead area to see kind of how it builds up on itself. Okay, so that is it built up with a little bit of a second layer. I do feel like it added more coverage, but it is not a full coverage. So it's not marketed as one. Just be aware that it's not going to give you like a super full coverage look. But I do think, at least so far, it looks pretty nice. It feels nice on the skin. It feels kind of similar to the Laura Gellar Filter First foundation, or if you've tried the Flower Beauty Light Illusion foundation, I think it's called. It has a similar feel to that, to where it feels very emollient, but it's not super dewy. It has a little bit of a radiance to it, but not anything super shiny. So I feel like so far, my impression is that it would be good for all skin types. So this foundation does have 12 shades in the range. I'm using shade 4. It does have SPF 15, which is, you know, nice to have. It's storming outside right now, so I don't really need a super high SPF, but no matter what the weather is, you always need some SPF because UVA rays do filter through clouds. But during the daytime, for sure, you're definitely going to need an SPF to protect your skin. So I definitely recommend that. To wear a regular sunscreen, but on days like today, an SPF 15 where I'm not outside, it should be enough for me. So looking at it, I had purchased this when I was self-tanned, so it does look a little bit dark on me, so possibly shade 3 might have been better, but we're gonna lighten it up with my concealer anyway. So far so good. I think it looks and feels really nice. It feels thin, it doesn't feel super heavy. To the touch without powder, it doesn't feel very tacky or anything like that, so that's a good sign. Alright, so that's the foundation on. I don't have a new concealer, so I'm just going to be doing my normal bits that I have been doing. Right now I've been using the Anastasia foundation stick or contour stick in the shade Banana, and putting a layer of that under my eyes to help boost the coverage of my concealer. I only have a couple concealers on deck right now, and most of them are a little bit more sheer, so I just find that this helps to kind of brighten the under eye and give a little bit of extra coverage to those low coverage concealers. For concealer, I'm taking the Laura Geller Spackle Concealer, and I'm going to take my Beauty Bakery sponge and blend that out again. Alright, so next up I have two products I'm going to be trying out. One of them is a powder, one of them is a cream blush. So I'm going to start with the cream blush on one side without powder, and then I'm going to set the face and try it on the other side with powder. So the blush I'm using today is from Nudestix. It is the Sunkissed Nudies Matte. If you haven't tried these, one side has the actual cream color on it, and the other side has a little buffer brush. Usually with products like this, I do like to use my fingers or a sponge to blend them out, but I'm going to try it with the brush on the one end just to see kind of how it goes. So I'm just going to dab on a little bit. Well, it's probably a little bit more than I should. That's okay, we're going to blend it out. So the Nudies Mattes, really most of the Nudestix products are multi-purpose, so you can use them on the cheeks, eyes, and lips. I do want to try that out one day to do like a monochromatic look, but for now, this is one of the only Nudestix products that I have. I do have one of their eye pencils, but they do make foundation sticks, they make other blush bronzer sticks, lip pencils, they have brow products, they have a mascara. And I do find that they look really nice on the skin when I see them on other people, so it's one of those brands that I do want to try more of. So that is a little bit of it blended out with the brush on wet foundation. So I find that it is pretty sheer, which is nice for a lot of people, so that way you're not like going overboard with the color, because you did see I put on quite a bit and then it blended out to a really nice wash of color. This is about as strong as I would go with my blush if I were wearing it, especially with something this color. I think it looks nice. I am going to add a little bit more just to kind of see if you can get the color stronger on the cheeks. We're going to go back in on the higher points and blend that. Okay, so what I see is that you can build up the color. It doesn't look like a super fake looking color. It looks like a natural flush. It looks like a natural face color. I think that's because it is a cream working with a cream product, and those usually tend to sit on the skin a little bit more natural, especially when it comes to texture. So if you have texture on your cheeks, cream products usually are going to work a little bit better than powder products. And speaking of powder products, we're going to powder the rest of the face and then try the Nudestix blush on the other side. The powder that I'm trying out is the CoverFX Perfect Setting Powder in Translucent Light. I have tried this once before and I did quite enjoy it, but I have only worn it that one day. So this one comes in two shades. I forget the price of it, but I'll put it on the screen. I'm going to take the Real Techniques Under Eye Setting Brush to set the concealer. And if you guys have been watching for a while, I have tried a few translucent powders over the years. I had tried the CoverFX Illuminating Translucent Powder a couple years ago, did not care for it. The powder that I've had the most luck with, that I like the best, is the Too Faced Born This Way powder. But I do find that with certain foundation formulas, it doesn't have a very great lasting power. So this one I'm hoping will be my answer to that, like my perfect setting powder. CoverFX is a clean beauty brand, so it's part of like the Clean Out Sephora. They do sell it at Ulta as well. Those are really the only places that I shop, so I don't know if it's available at like Macy's or Nordstrom or anything like that, but you are able to find it pretty easily. It's not the most affordable brand, but I find it's pretty comparable in price to any high-end brand. It's not a luxury brand, so it's not going to be like super expensive, but it is definitely expensive, more expensive than something like Maybelline or Morphe. It's going to be more about the prices of Urban Decay, Too Faced, something like that. So that is with the powder. I do find that it sets really well. The skin doesn't look super dry, it doesn't look cakey or anything like that. So far so good on that one. I do like how it looks. Again, it's dry to the touch, but it has more of like a satin finish and a little bit of a blurring effect. So now on my right side, since we have the powder laid down, we're going to go in with that Nudestix blush again and see how it works over powder. Alright, so I find over the powder that the color of the blush goes on a bit stronger. So I would not add a second layer to this side. Let me get in a little closer. I don't find that it looks super patchy or anything like that over the powder. So I don't know if that would be the formula of this or the formula of the powder, but I think it looks pretty nice. I would only go one round over powder though, whereas if you're putting it on liquid foundation, I can layer it up and still be comfortable with how it's looking. So I do like how it looks so far, and I really like the tone too. It's a very natural looking color. It gives a little bit of like that kind of sunburnt effect, like you've been in the sun a little bit too long. Some people like that, some people don't. I do. All right, I'm just gonna do a little bit of a quick contour. I don't have anything new to contour or bronze with, so I'm just gonna be using some items from my project pan. If you want to see what I'm trying to finish in my project pan, make sure to follow me on my Instagram at Caedmon-Cosmetics. That's where I'm like posting my progress updates on my project pan, and I do post on there a lot more frequently than I do here on YouTube. So definitely give me a follow at Caedmon-Cosmetics. I'm gonna do the brows next, so I'm just gonna clean them off from the powder with a little cotton swab. And today I'm going to be trying the new Anastasia Dipbrow Gel. So I did try this on when I got my brows done a month, 2 months ago. Wow, when I was visiting Wisconsin. My friend is an Anastasia counter manager at Nordstrom. So she waxed my brows and I got to try it on. And what she had me do, I'm going to do it her method first and then try it out with my own method. So what she was trained on and what she had recommended to do was to outline the brow, take the tip of it, and kind of use it as a brow pencil. So I'm gonna get in a little bit closer and try that out. And for this, you're gonna want to drag it on the skin a little bit. So you can see it's starting to lay down that product, and I'm going to do it again on the tail. So what I'm seeing, that method does work. Depending on what kind of brow you have though, it might get a little bit messy. For me, I see that the line isn't super defined. So I'm going to just take an angled brush. This is from NYX angled brow brush. And I'm just gonna go in with a brow brush and outline it like I normally would. Oh, and I am using the shade Granite, so it's going to be a little bit of a bold brow moment today, but that's okay. That's the shade that I wanted. That's the shade that I bought. I did buy the mini of this one as well, which I believe was $12, and the full size is $18. And there are more shades in the full size. All right, so now that I've outlined, I'm just going to go over it as a regular brow gel. Alright, so that is the brow with the Anastasia Dipbrow Gel. I do think that the color is a little bit dark. It's a very bold color for me. If you want bold brows, go for the Granite shade. I should have probably gone for a lighter shade, but there weren't any in stock at the time that I was visiting her. So I feel like a dark color I would only use really on the ends of my brows, but so far, from what I remember, I did really like how it wore throughout the day. Generally, I use Benefit products for my eyebrows because I find just that the formulas are really nice. I find that they work well for my routine. They're really easy to use. Anastasia, for a while, I was just kind of put off of because I felt like it was super overhyped for no reason. But I've come to terms that I think Anastasia Beverly Hills is overhyped only because they do make really solid products most of the time. There hasn't been a ton from them that I disliked. I think the clear brow gel I'm not the biggest fan of, but I really do like the eyeshadow palettes, I like the highlighters, I like the contour sticks. I think that's about all that I've actually tried from them. Oh, the Brow Wiz is a nice product as well. All right, so brows are done. Definitely gonna be a sisters not twins kind of day for the brows today, but that's all right. Okay, so I've let the brows dry down a little bit. I have just primed with the Smashbox 24-hour eyeshadow primer that's in my project pan. So I have 3 products that we're going to be trying out on the eyes today. The first is going to be this Pat McGrath MTHRSHIP Subliminal Platinum Bronze Palette. That's a fucking mouthful. So these, I believe, have been discontinued, but it's new to my collection and I haven't gotten to try it yet, so I'm going to try it out. So this was one of the ones that was, I think, $54, and I got it on sale for $27, so that is a lot more palatable of a price point than $54 to me. This one, let me see if I can do it without the light shining too bad. This one is the more cool toned of the options. They also had a warmer toned one and a very colorful one. So it does have the little shade pull out here. I do wish that shades were like printed on the pans. But, so there's 1 matte shade and 5 shimmer shades. So what I'm gonna do is go in with the 1 matte shade and hope that it blends out decently. And that shade is called Deep Velvet. So with the Morphe M518, I'm gonna lightly dab into that and start working on the crease a little bit. It does go on nice. It's not going on super, super dark, which I am very thankful for considering that it's the only matte in that palette and it's the only palette that I'm trying out today. But it seems to be blending out actually really decently as well. So I'm gonna go in with a brush that's a little bit more dense and rounded to kind of pack on that shade on the outer part just to give a little bit more depth. I don't know, I feel like having 1 matte shade in a 6-pan palette is not a great balance. Again, I do like the colors of the palette, but I feel like only having 1, like even if there were 2, that would be a little bit more workable, but only having 1 matte shade and the rest being metallics makes this palette a little bit limited. Although I do know that they were meant to go with like the bigger mothership palettes from Pat McGrath, so I guess that kind of makes sense to me, but still, if you can't afford that, like I can't afford those palettes, those are $125 each, like that's a credit card payment, that's a utility right there. If you can't afford those palettes and you just got one of the mini ones on their own, you'd have to use another palette with it. Like you couldn't just go in with only this and make a cohesive look. We're gonna see how it goes today though. All right, next up, I'm going to use the shade Platinize. That is the kind of like pearly silver shade up here. And I'm gonna do that on my brow bone because then we're gonna go in with another product that I would like to try out. So I'm just gonna take a really little definer brush like that and tuck that right under my arch. Oh, that is pretty. That one's kind of like a silvery pearl. It goes on pretty pigmented though, so I'm just gonna smudge it out a little bit. Does anybody else have like a good side when they're doing their makeup? I always feel like whenever I take pictures, I take it from the left because I feel like my left eyebrow is better, my left cheekbone is better, my left eye is better. Everything on my left side is like perfect. And on my right side, that's just like the, oh, well, we gotta finish making this person, better throw some shit together. All right, now that we have the outline of the look, we're gonna go in with my second product, which is the Almay Velvet Foil Cream Shadow. This isn't a new product, this is just new to my collection, but Ulta is not going to be carrying Almay anymore, so I got this for like $2. So I wanna see if it was a good investment on it. I'm going to be using that with the Real Techniques Instapop Crease Brush, but I'm gonna be packing it all over the lid. So I'm going to just squeeze out a little bit with cream products. I like to work a very little bit at a time, just so that way it doesn't get too crazy. Get a little bit more though. So I'm gonna take about that much, just a very, very little bit, and see how that does. Oh, I forgot to say the shade. This is the shade 80 Out of the Woods. I do have another one that is more of like a taupey shade, which would have probably been better with this look, but that's fine. All right. Wow. I think that's really pretty. What do you think? But so far, I really like how it looks. I feel like it's sophisticated, but it's not super hard to do. It's not taking a long time. It's only taking a while because I'm talking at the same time. Usually I'm just listening to music or listening to a video playing in the background. All right, so wow, that was fast. So that's the shade Out of the Woods on of the Almay Cream Velvet Foil. It's not super metallic. It's more of like a sheen rather than like a super heavy sparkle like the Stila liquid shadows. But I do really like how it looks. If anything, I could add a little bit of that same Pat McGrath shade on the lower lash line, add some mascara, and be done with it. And I feel like that would be a good complete look right there. We're going to actually add a little bit of that shadow underneath, where we're going to add one more product, so let's see how that looks. Okay, so I've just added the same shade that's in the crease on the lower lash line and smoked it out a little bit. The last product we're going to be going in with to add a little bit of a punch of fun to this eye look is going to be the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Gel in the shade Saturday Stardust. So they have 6 shades of this. There's 4 of them that I really like. 2 of them I find are a little more basic. But this one is one of the ones that really caught my eye. It has a purple with like a turquoise, green, silver shift to it. It's very interesting how the color looks on it. So, all right, so I'm going to take the Morphe M124, just like a little flat definer brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of it. Just a note, I don't know if these are eye safe, but I'm going to do it anyway, so use at your own discretion and don't follow my advice ever. So I'm going to take that and put on the inner corner and the lower lash line. And these are self-adhering glitters, so you don't have to put down a glitter glue for them. But that's it. Yeah, I find that that gives a bit of a punch to it, so it gives a really nice sparkle. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I mean about like the color shift to it. I just found that it looked really pretty when I was swatching it in the store. I really hope that they make these permanent. They were limited edition for their summer collection, their Pride collection, but I'm hoping that they make them permanent because this is one of the one of my favorite items that they've released in really the last few years. All right, so I have that built up just like on the inner corner. I find that it gives a really nice pop to the look, but yeah, I think that is really pretty. So the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Gel in Saturday Stardust. All right, so I'm gonna add some mascara and a lip color, and I will be right back to round out my thoughts about everything we tried. All right, so I just did some setting spray, which was the, who is this by? Catrice Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. So we did some of that. Now it's time to give my thoughts on everything. I really like how this look turned out. Is it an everyday wearable look? Maybe not for some people. I would wear this if I had the time to do it. But let's do a rundown of the products that I tried, what I think about them individually. So first off, the Benefit Hello Happy Flawless Brightening Foundation. So far, so good. I'm gonna see how it wears through the night, and I'll probably be checking in on these products as well on Instagram. So far, so good. I like how it applied. I like how it feels. I like how it looks. This one is a win for me. I do like the price point of that as well. Second, whoop, there is something flying. Get the fuck. Second was the Nudestix Nudies Matte in the shade Sunkissed. I do really like this. I feel like it's a very natural looking cream blush. You can also use it on your eyes and lips as well if you want something quick and easy and versatile, so I definitely liked that. The CoverFX Perfect Setting Powder. I, again, really like it. So far, it is my favorite one that I've tried. I think that's a good thing though. I've been looking for a long time for a setting powder that works really well and that I like how it looks and feels and how it performs. So I'm going to be trying it out more, but so far I like it quite a bit. For the brows, the Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade Gel. The shade, not my favorite, but that was my fault. I'm the one that chose it. I think a lighter shade would do me better. I think it would be a really nice brow gel. Again, like I did in this video, you can use an angled brow brush to kind of fill in like you would with the traditional dip brow. Jury's still out on it for me. I'm gonna keep trying it and see how I truly feel about it, but so far it's okay. It's not terrible. I just feel like it has a little bit of a learning curve to it. for the eyes, let's see, Pat McGrath, Mothership Subliminal Platinum Bronze. So far so good. I'm going to try it out more because this is the first time I've tried it, but I do think that the shades that I use worked actually pretty nicely, so I like that so far. The Almay Velvet Foil Shadow I really like so far. I'm going to see how it wears though, to see if it wears off or creases, but so far so good on that. And then the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Gel. I do like this. Again, I don't know if this is eye safe. Actually, let me read it. All right, so this is eye safe. I cut this out of the video, but when I was putting it on my inner corner on my left eye, I did get a little bit in my eye, so I just licked a Q-tip to get it out. So just be careful not to get this in your eyes. That is always a possibility with glitters, that it's going to get in your eye because they are a little bit more loose. This one is suspended in a gel, so it shouldn't have that much of a problem, but you need to be careful with your application of it. But other than that, I love how it looks. I want to try more colors of it and play around with them, so I would say this is a win. So everything I tried was great. I'm really happy about that. I look forward to trying these products more. Watch out for my next video, which is going to be the shit list, which are products that I tried in the last couple months that didn't work out for me. And hopefully I see you guys on that one. Please subscribe and like and leave a comment, and follow me on Instagram at Caedmon Cosmetics. I hope you guys have a great day, and remember that you are clearly beautiful.